What's up, guys? We got Evergrow Paul here today to do a quick discussion on Evergrow and what's going on with Evergrow. What's up, Paul?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. Well, what is your official position on Evergrow?
So I am one of three community managers. And so we manage all the socials, Twitter, the official Twitter, we do have access to, but that's, usually Sam and the team, they take more care of that. But we, us community managers, me, Cody, and Frank, we decide, what goes on in Discord, Telegram, Reddit, who the admins, mods, all that kind of stuff. So we're in charge of Facebook, Instagram. So we're in charge of all that. Anything community-wise, and Sam made it three people, so this way if there was a big decision to make, we can make, a group decision, so it's majority rules. So if, there's a decision made on some idea or somebody, it would have to go two against one for the decision to be made. But honestly, we agree on almost everything. We make a very good team. So that's how Sam wanted it to run by the community, and I thought it was a really good idea. So we're not core team members, but we're on the team. We just got put on the website, which is a huge honor a couple weeks ago. So
That's awesome. Cool. Have you become more bullish on the project after becoming like an official part of the team?
I think not become an official member of the team, I got more bullish on the project the more I got to talking with Sam. And that ramped up because, remember, I was an investor on day one, just like everybody else. And then Jacob asked me to be a mod. And I was only 3 months into just investing in crypto, period. And then I just kind of, started building the Discord because no one was in there. So I kind of started learning, myself. And then to get, Sam and all the other, core team, they live across the pond. I'm in the US, so they're all in Europe and, Asia and India. So to get people to trust you without even meeting you, takes a lot. It takes months. So I had to really, I didn't get to talk to them every day. And then, around December and January, I really got to talk to Sam and Previn a lot more. And that's when I became a lot more bullish. The more I got to talk to Sam, seeing into his mind, his ideas, and Previn, and how smart, he was and behind the scenes. And I'm not told everything, but they want to make sure they tell us stuff so we can tell the community, and have, really, strong conviction on what we're seeing. If we're not told or seeing work done behind the scenes, we're not going to be bullish to the community about it. And that's the way Sam wants it to be. And I thought that was a really good idea. So I'm not under NDAs. Some stuff I keep on the silent just because you don't want certain stuff to come out of the community too early. And I think you can appreciate that. Certain stuff's got to be, announced at a certain time. But more bullish as I've talked to Sam and the core team and their ideas in the future and what they really got going on, and obviously beta testing Creator and seeing the NFT marketplace. It's I'm very bullish on it. I couldn't be more bullish on it.
Nice. How did you feel about me and Sam's discussion yesterday?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was very actually I was controlling the main Evergrow accounts, and so I was just listening. I thought it was a lot more smoother than I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be a lot more back and forth, maybe arguing or this, but it seemed like you guys agreed a lot more than people thought you were going to agree. Like you were going to be this buy back and burn, and he was going to be all about the rewards, and it was going to be like a thing back and forth. But I think you guys both came to an agreement, and I think a lot of the community did, which was, a mix of both is good. When the price is low, let's do a lot of buyback and burn so we can burn more of the supply. When the price, gets higher, let's do more rewards and maybe split. Obviously, how much profit's coming in will be determined, how the market is doing, how the volume is doing on its own. I think all these factors will play into it. So I don't think I think you guys actually agreed on a lot of things. I don't think there was really anything you really disagreed on, except for the really disagreement. Just the timing has to be right on when to use the rewards than the buyback and burn.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. I definitely feel like it went pretty well. How are you feeling about the community? From your perspective, how's everybody feeling? And
so I think everyone's getting really excited by the end of the month. Everyone is, on their toes, and even us, we don't know. I've been talking to Sam. I talk to him every day, and we want to get a date going for. And so the NFT marketplace is going to be released first. We want to get a date for that, but we don't. They don't want to release a date until like a few days until it's ready. They want to have it ready to go and it's good to go, and then say in 3 days it's coming out. Boom. So that's why there's not an exact day yet. It will come before the 31st, but they don't want to say the 25th, and then next it's the 26th or 27th.
Yeah.
So there will, when it's 100% ready, then they'll announce, it's coming in 3 days or 2 days. And then with Creator, I was talking with Sam, with the 1,000 people loading them on, it will literally only take a day or two. And it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly 1,000. It can be 900, it could be 1,100, it could be around that amount. They want to test, that many people on this second version of Creator and see, how 1,000 people work on it, and if there are any little bugs. Because most of them are fixed. We fixed them in version 1. So they have version 2 coming out, which is an updated version that they call version 2. And so hopefully it goes smooth, and maybe there's, 1 or 2 bugs. Boom, they fix them, and next we can put 10,000 people on in the next week. And then hopefully we can go another 10,000 and have a nice, smooth launch.
Yeah, my perspective on that is with investors to look at that as like, this is what the team is doing for us and it needs to be great and it needs to happen on time. Like, that's, to me, like, that's a terrible way to look at it. It needs to be, this is a part of the project that we're investing in. Like, when people invest in Tesla or something, they feel like we're supporting this, we're part of this. So it's like, if you have your son, how critical are you of your son, or do you give him room to fail and encourage him to grow? Like, that's how people work. That's how projects work. Everything goes through that process of failure and adapting. So I think it's really good to have a mindset of, if the community can get that mindset of like, hey, do what you got to do and we're behind you and what can we do to help, not expect just this amazing, launch with huge celebrities blowing up and us becoming like in the news and all those things. Like, that's possible, we could, but just have a supportive backing of it instead of just like, what are you doing for me, and if you don't do something for me, I'm going to complain. I hate to see that in investors' mindsets.
I know, I guess that a lot, and we've been clearing up a lot of little things, a little bit of FUD lately. I'll kind of get into that because, well, it's 2 things. One, people thought that the Metaverse partnership announcement, they took that as everything is getting pushed back to Q3 and Q4, and that's not the case. Everything is still going to launch independently as it is, and then you need to, and then it'll be integrated into the Metaverse later, and you could use it or not use it in the Metaverse, or you could use it as it is. So it's not like, everything's, going to be integrated in the Metaverse and you have to wait till Q3 or Q4 to work everything, because we just changed everything and it's going to be open in the Metaverse. Like, no, that is not the case. And then people also said, oh, you need to focus on these utilities, get them out first, then focus on the Metaverse. Well, you need to make, I think you can agree with this, you need to make these partnerships early, because it takes time to build this, huge thing. And a third party is going to be building it. So it's not like our devs are going to be busy doing something else, like something else on their plate. We already have a team, with Creator, and we have a team with the NFT marketplace. We have a team with the exchange and wallet. And so now we have a team with the Metaverse, and it's going to incorporate all of that in. But you need to do that early, because they need a lot of time to do that. That's not a small task. That's a big task. So you can't just snap your fingers one day in November, say, from now, and say, okay, let's put all these things in the Metaverse. Boom. It doesn't quite work that way. It takes a lot of time to integrate this kind of stuff. And I'm no Metaverse or, tech expert, but even I know that. So just want to kind of clear that up for people that, stuff is still, if they go on the website, they'll see the only thing that Sam said will get, pushed back a little bit is the game. And I think it's because they're making it bigger than they thought it was. And they're going to integrate that in the Metaverse a little bit, and they don't want to really screw that up or rush it. Not screw it up, but rush it when it could be a lot better than it is. So that's the only thing that is really getting delayed, and they said maybe a couple weeks, if that. So that's
yeah,
really
and that was probably like the least, anticipated utility we had was probably the gaming. Everybody's probably a lot more bullish on the exchange, Creator, NFT marketplace than they are in the game. I still look forward to playing it and showing people how to play it and seeing how much Evergrow you can make, or what's involved in it. Like, because I'm a gamer, I love gaming, I love the metaverse. I'll be in the metaverse if I can like be meeting investors in the metaverse, or like you and me are hanging out in the metaverse and people can come hang out with us. You just got to get a headset.
I've never done it. I've never even, my friend has a headset. I'm actually going to go over one day this week and like try it out because I'm not a gamer. I've never been a gamer. I think my last thing was Nintendo and Nintendo 64 is what I played. So, but I'm going to try his headset only has that, and I'm going to see what it's like and everything. I know it's cool, and I know, what I like about it is that Evergrow is taking a piece of every single market. So we're going, creator with the social media, NFT. We have the NFT marketplace. We have that market covered. Then we have the gaming market covered, and we're gonna have the exchange and wallet. We're gonna have that market covered for the crypto space, and now we're gonna have the metaverse covered, and we're gonna have all that, and because there's metaverse tokens out there, there's NFT tokens out there, there's just ones with wallets and exchanges out there. There's ones that are just building the social media ones out there. There's other ones out there. But if we can tap into every single one of those markets, and bring them all together, that's a whole. You're going after every different audience, and then creator. I mean, you're going after people that aren't even into crypto, and bringing them in, and we can put banners and ads up anywhere we want with Evergrow. It's not going to cost us a thing because Evergrow owns it, which is a great thing. So I look at it that way, that Evergrow, the ecosystem, is going after excuse me, each different type of investor, because there are people that just do NFTs and they just do reward tokens, just do this. We're going after them all. And not going after, but we're incorporating the whole ecosystem into this. And I think that's really important. And I knew about, obviously we all knew about the metaverse coming later in Q3, Q4, but I didn't even know about this partnership, this what Abstract was. I didn't know anything about that. Like I said, I'm not on the core team, so I'm only told what I need to know. So that was exciting for me to actually see that. And people like seeing partnerships and other companies. And I think you made a good point. Either you made it, or I think I saw in a comment that they like that a startup, a smaller company, was partnering with us because they care more. If you chose a company like Sony or one of these other big companies, you're going to be a little pebble to them, but because they're worth billions and billions of dollars. If you're working with a startup company that Sam has clearly checked out, and they have a 20,000 person wait list for their beta testing just on the VCR or whatever, and they already have an arcade out. They're going to care more about Evergrow because we started out with them as growing. So I look at it as a plus and not a minus that we're not working with such a big company like like Sony, like I just said. I really like that comment that I saw. I forget who said it though. I don't know if it was you or not.
No, it wasn't me. Another big thing about that I actually heard Sam say, I don't know if you heard it, was he said, those are the utilities we have right now. And, I've always talked about, like, guys, they can always make more utilities, but he basically confirmed, like, the fact that they even thought to say, hey, let's make a social media platform, like, that means that he's looking in places that other people aren't looking. Sam's a financial, kind of advisor, so he's going to be looking at where's the best place to take Evergrow with our next utility, especially if we start bringing in revenue and we start increasing the ability and financial backing to do that. Like, I know Sam's not going to stop, and our utility is going to keep growing. And if it does become connected, and people really enjoy Creator and they really enjoy the marketplace and the gaming and everything we have, I mean, yeah, that is moon potential for even small investors. So that's pretty huge if we succeed. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know the potential's there.
But the potential is huge. And like I said, crypto, like you said, crypto's changing so fast. What last year, Sapin was one of the, biggest, they started out with their whole reflection tokens, and then, reward tokens came out, and Evergrow made the BUSD tokens kind of popular. And now that's going, like, things change from months to months to months. So it's good that looking ahead, and we're covering each aspect. And then once they get all these utilities out, all of them working good, of course they're going to keep updating them, making them better, and doing this. Everything's going to be structured. But then, next thing you know, like, remember these, B&B 2 years ago was worth $10. But then they've done so much since then. And I'm not saying we're B&B, but what are they going to do for 2023? They're not just going to sit on these 5 utilities, and eventually they're going to need something else to work on. So who knows? At the end of 2022, they could have the roadmap released for 2023, and there could be 2, 3, 5 more utilities for that if they're confident. Whatever ideas they come up with, the community comes up with. So it's going to keep growing and expanding, and who knows in 3 years how many utilities we could actually have. Because we're still early. We're almost 5, 6 months into this. And 2 weeks we're gonna have our first utility out, and it's not a template. It's built from scratch.
Sam made a really good point that like we launched probably at one of the worst times to launch in the market. If we had launched just earlier that year when SafeMoon launched, we'd be, in my opinion, just as big or bigger than SafeMoon if we had launched when they did. And I have a lot of experience with this because the investors and the views related to YouTube, they go hand in hand. If the price goes down and people aren't interested and they're not investing as much, the views go down on YouTube as well. They're not researching their projects as much, and everything is just way down right now. And I think we all know in the back of our minds that at some point it has to turn around and turn into a bull market. And if that happens while we're launching our utilities, then we might be able to see the potential that we would have had if we had launched when SafeMoon launched. So the stars could align with everything, and we could see huge things happen. I always say that I don't know what's going to happen, but the potential is there. I don't know how long we're going to be in this bear market and how long everything's going to be down, but I think we all know that it's going to blow up. It has to blow up in the other direction soon.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? And if, let's just say, if we were to wait to release these things for like when the next bull market was starting, and then we released all these things, like what we could go to, because it would just explode. But the crypto market can't wait. We have a roadmap and we have deadlines to meet, and they're going to meet those. Excuse me, they're going to meet those deadlines. But even launching these utilities into a bear market, is not going to be an easy thing. And it's not for every project is going on. Now, what I expect is, I think it's going to be a slow, steady, uptrend. I think people were expecting, an announcement to come in. We're going to get this big spike, and oh my God, like, it's not really how it works, especially during a bear market. You're going to get these, a little, you're going to get a little uptick, up, just like that. And then when the bull market happens, that's when you get an influx of all this money into the market, and then you start trending and all this stuff happens. I want to make one more point, actually, going back to these utilities and people just talking. A lot of new investors don't understand that, we had these utilities ready back in November, and that's what, people keep talking about delays and everything. So, Unite Fans was the original social media network, and then a regular NFT place, and we ended up taking off. And obviously, we can go back and look, and I was a part of it, you were a part of it. It just seemed like we kept going up and up and up and up, and investors from 10,000 to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. And Sam looked at what we had getting ready to launch, and it wasn't good enough for the amount of holders we had and the market cap we had. It was basically like a carbon copy of, OnlyFans was Unite Fans. And the NFT, the NFT platform just wasn't, it wasn't, up to Sam's, status. So he said, what, let's scratch that. And that was like, I think, late November. And let's really start over from scratch, and let's build something, that's lasting, that's, for the long-term investor. Because if we would have launched those things, the short term would have been okay, but they would have basically tailed off, because they wouldn't have been, right for the, market cap size that we did have, and for what the investors expected out of Evergrow. So that was the delay in that. When it's a delay, yes, but it was to make Creator 10 times better. The name, Unite Fans, that just, goes with OnlyFans, stuff like that. But they wanted to stand on its own. I think we got a better, name out of it. We got a better with the logo was a big thing. We got a better logo out of it. And it's combined, so and not just pictures and a video back and forth. I mean, there's so much more to Creator now than there was, 4 months ago. And then the NFT marketplace, it is not a template. It is made from scratch. It is just totally built up, and it looks fantastic, and it's one of a kind. So I think people are really going to be excited about that, of it being so unique. And then we had the beta testing going on early January. I was a part of that. And what happened is we were going to take on 50 more people, but we already had us, me, Frank, and Cody, and the design team doing the beta testing. And we ended up working day and night for a couple weeks. And they had all the information they needed. So we didn't need to take on 50 more people. So they turned and took that, and they took all that information and plus a lot more they already had. And they just basically moved it over to this next version that is a lot faster, more efficient, and has all the updates, a lot of the bugs out of it and everything, and ready for the 1,000 users, and hopefully a lot more in the days to weeks to come after that. So it is definitely a benefit for the wait. We would have fizzled out a long time ago if we went with that.
Nice, man. Well, thanks for having this talk with me, and if there's anything else you want to say.
No, man. Thanks for having me, and hopefully the audience likes this kind of interaction. And if they'd like more of this, I'm happy to come on anytime and just talk.